Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the Blueprint Live. It's your girl, MzMetchi. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in on our YouTube and Facebook pages. Shout out to our radio partners, Fluent Media Network, Philly Jams 95.3, and Indie 101.5. Tonight's show is powered by Live Long Health, Paris Ice Bar, Copajn Vodka, Fiya Infusions, and Lavish Looks by MzMetchi. Be sure to tap in with us every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Oh, honey, and don't forget, the MzMetchi show comes on every Monday at 11 a.m. It's showtime. Let's get it.
What it do? Your favorite cousin Young Jock checking in. And right now you're tuned into the Blueprint Live with my favorite MzMetchi, all right? Hey, man, you know what it is. Keep doing what you're doing and keep it right here. Chill.
Yo, what's happening? What's happening? Oh, it's your boy $2 Fabo, Bankhead Fabo. Oh, hey, man, check this out. I want y'all to tune in right now to the Blueprint Live with MzMetchi. And I want you to tune in every Thursday at 6:30 Central Time. Ah! Oh, Fabo!
Hey y'all, it's time to get lit tonight. Yeah. Don't mind me, I had to throw it back real quick with my Child's Up. This is one of my favorite songs, y'all. This is Kickback. It's available everywhere. Get your drink or whatever you into. I just had to rock out real quick. Welcome back to another week of the Blueprint Live. It's your girl, MzMetchi. And baby, look, it's been a week, but we made it. Come on now, Friday Eve. Everybody give it up. Give it up. Now, if you all were feeling that song, that was Child's Up's Kickback. That's an oldie but a goodie for me. I just, I felt like we needed to just have a real quick throwback moment right there. So that is available on all platforms. Shout out to all of my listeners that are tuning in with me on our Facebook and YouTube page. And for those that will later join the broadcast on Fluent Media Network, Jams 95.3 and Indie 101.5. Now, I've got a great show for you tonight. I'm super excited. Look, first off, I am super excited tonight because, I love all of my guests, of course, love them equally, but I love when my friends, like my real friends and my real supporters for the show, like my day ones, they join me on the show. Now, let me tell you this. My guest tonight, I have Erica Curvy joining me. She is the founder and CEO of She Is Undefeated Incorporated, okay? If you all remember Erica, she was actually on my second show. It was my second show that I had it was the Blueprint Radio at that time when we were on My Radio Chicago. And of course, I'm excited to have her back tonight because, naturally that was 7 years ago. It's been 7 years, but I know that she's got some exciting things to share with us. And I'm very, very interested in you all just being able to learn about her organization. And y'all know how we like to do over here. We got to pull together and support. And of course, we love Erica over here. So tonight, we putting it all out on the line and saying, how can we jump in? How can we stand with her as she helps the communities that she serves? Okay. So tonight is very, very important. We're going to get to know Erica. Okay. My good sis, Erica. But we really need to bind together so that we can support tonight, because that is genuinely what it's all about. Now, remember, the Blueprint Live is available anywhere that you listen to your favorite shows. Me personally, I'm a Spotify girly, but good luck for you. We're available anywhere. So if you miss any of tonight's show, you can definitely catch the replay, of course, on any of those platforms tomorrow afternoon. Now, if you haven't already, make sure that you're following me, your girl, MzMetchi, as well as the Blueprint Media Company on all platforms. I want to make sure that we stay connected. I want to support you. So make sure that you go ahead and drop that follow or subscribe. Of course, shout out to my amazing sponsors, Live Long Health, Copajn Vodka. Y'all already know it's Copajn, baby. And y'all already know MzMetchi don't even drink vodka, but I drink this. It's good. You vodka get up with me in the morning, not Copajn. Copajn is bae. Okay, now, so y'all make sure that y'all go and follow them. And of course, Pretty Curvy Savage, Paris Ice Bar, and Fiya Infusions. After tonight's show, everyone, including my special guests, their channels or their pages are going to be hyperlinked. Do me a favor. Y'all do me a favor. Just take 1 second out of your time and click on there, like, subscribe, share. This is what it's all about. Tonight's topic: which popular conspiracy theories make you wonder? I've been hearing some things recently that I'm like, okay, I'm like, have my listeners heard this? Like what's going on in the streets? Y'all know I like to keep my ear to the streets, but tonight I felt like that this would be a fun topic because I heard one recently and have just seen like videos and all types of stuff that I said, you know what, I can't keep it to myself. So we're talking about it tonight. Now, I think now is a really, really good time to go ahead and bring in my special guest. I want to remind you all to drop your businesses in the comments. Someone needs what you have to offer. Hell, I might need what you have to offer. So go ahead and drop it. You got an event, you have a book, a song, whatever it is, we are here to support you. So make sure that you go ahead and tag yourself, drop your event, drop the link, whatever it is, we are here to support tonight. Now, I want to go ahead and get it primed up for my special guest. Because look, I told y'all this one is really, really special to me. Special to me. Okay. Erica, if you're ready for me, let me get a thumbs up. I think we ready. I want to introduce you all to one of my good friends. Y'all, this is my good sis for real, for real. And if, for those that follow me already, y'all already know how locked in I am with Erica. But I want to introduce you all to my special guest tonight, Erica Curry of She Is Undefeated. Here she goes, everyone.
Hello. Demetria, do not overhype me like that.
What you mean overhype? Did we do enough is the question. Okay.
It's that Erica.
No, first off, Erica, I was sitting here before you logged on when I heard your ping, and I was thinking about you because I was putting in the names and doing all that other stuff, and I said, you know what? When my friend was here last time, she had a whole different name. It was so much stuff going on 7 years ago. And so Erica, first off, I want to congratulate you because, my listeners knew that I had taken a break to come and celebrate with you and your husband in New York for your special day. Congratulations.
Thank you. And thank y'all for coming. Like, New York is very expensive, honey.
I was not prepared, friend. Like, I'm typically a prepared girlie. I'm like, baby, we gotta eat out of a bodega tonight.
And let me tell you, get that college cup noodle going. And I love y'all. And thank y'all so much. Y'all came to the wedding, the after party, had a time. And I love y'all. We love New York. And I'm like, New York is expensive. If you can't make it, I understand. You was like, baby, we there in all black and we want the after party package. Okay.
You know me. I be liking to break stuff up like Klarna and Afterpay. You told me in enough time. I said, I was like, we can do this. This is
paying it for. I want to pay everything in full. I don't care what it is.
Couple payments.
Absolutely can. Baby, so, that's life.
It really is. And Erica, kind of when you came on the show, and of course everyone knows that we are big supporters of She Is Undefeated over here, and just everything. Like, I'm support of Erica. Okay.
To hear you say that was 7 years ago.
It was
7 years.
So
what are you doing?
I feel like we've been doing our thing, and I kind of want to talk from that point because we could of course let them know. We're going to let them know a little bit more about what She Is Undefeated is all about. But when we think about 7 years from when you were on the show, Erica, can you give us a little bit of a recap? Like, just kind of, we ain't got to take them all the way back to day one, but can we just talk about the evolution of everything?
It's been such an evolution. There has been so many trials and errors, me moving too quick, doing this, doing it incorrectly, thinking that I can do it all by myself. Can't. $1 million idea. Now I'm in debt. I mean, it's been a lot of trials and errors. So within the 7 years, I have taken a step back and kind of started over. So, I've rebranded so many times. I've recreated different programs so many times, So over the 7 years, I can say I've learned a lot.
Okay.
Over the 7 years, I can say I've left corporate America and just jumped all into this thing. So it is my life. I live it. I breathe it. I'm all in. So at this point, I'm really still hitting the ground running, but I'm excited because now that I'm all in, my baby, we got a thing going on. It's up. It's up.
Erica, so I've talked about. I'm glad that you're here tonight because
Yeah.
I have referenced you. I didn't name drop at the time, but I have referenced you on the show in terms of. I told them, I said, I'm like, I have one of my. I feel like just a sister friend that
Yeah.
I was like, we met each other in the corporate lifestyle, and it was
Mhm.
always. I felt like that we for a while, Erica, we kind of passed the baton to each
We
other.
followed each
We
other.
we
You
did.
gotta, you
We
gotta bless it, put me on. I gotta bless it, put you on. You here, better bless it, put me on.
and
Absolutely.
And when you left corporate America, so at the time when Erica left, we were working for the same company. Everybody's kind of we've gone all our separate ways.
Mhm.
But when it happened, I was I always knew, we had this system. It was like we gonna pull. And the thing that I'm excited about is for you to pass the baton for us to just be full entrepreneurs. Because I'm like, girl, look, this is me. I'm like, where is the baton? I'm ready to get out of
Listen,
here.
now with this baton, the pay is different. So I'm gonna need you to hold off until you are ready and sure. And I have amazing support system, which is my husband, that financially, baby, he takes on that burden. And my dream of running She Is Undefeated and even the businesses I have with him, I have his fullest support. And I trust that you will have the same. You have an amazing husband. But it's not for the week. Every other day I'm like, should I update that resume? should I
Get on LinkedIn.
go for Indeed and get, because it's not easy. It's not easy. And a lot of people confuse the fact that I left corporate America. They think that I don't work. I work even harder, even harder, because the 7th and the 22nd, which was those days,
Baby.
those are not, thankfully, those are not, they're not always promised, so it's a lot. It takes a lot on me. It actually has turned me into a different person. Sometimes I'm angrier because I'm used to always being able to provide just myself, even my kids, they notice a difference. Like, I ain't not using big money, mama.
Right. You might want to chill out.
Money given, not so big, so although it was a step that I did, I took that leap, and I had the support of my husband, and I felt that it was a great decision, which I still do. Before I pass the baton, I just want you, it's going to be one of the hardest decisions. But what I can say is I trust that you're going to excel in it, because you excel in everything that you do. You are an overachiever, honey. So
She has said this to me over the years. She be like, girl, pipe it down. They don't deserve all that. I'm like, let me draw it back.
Not only am I going to do what they said, I'm going to kill them and do 800 times more. No, just do what they said.
Yeah. Like, Erica was definitely my, like, all right, sis, we're going to reserve a little bit for us. We're not giving them all.
Don't kill them with all the skills just yet, because they want to appreciate it, I feel like that in a lot of areas in life, though. Don't let them know what you're capable of, because then it's like what they have for you, since you're already doing it, they ain't going to feel the need to, give you your worth. They got you already.
Right.
So
that's right. Oh, Erica, come on now, she's dropping gems. Y'all better.
what the girls doing? Okay.
And Erica, I of course, when I have guests on the show, and we have some people that are just their full-time entrepreneurs, and they've taken that leap. And I know that you mentioned it was like a little bit scary, but can you take me back to, because I don't even think that we've talked about this, but can you take me back to the moment when you said, because you were working the 9 to 5 as well as She Is Undefeated full time. Let's be clear. But when was that moment for you where you were just like this? It's time to start planning to go ahead and really go full throttle.
Absolutely. One of the things I can say is I left an amazing company. And I think that's why sometimes I struggle. I'm holding on to that, they supported my organization and me, even times where I had personal family crisis issues, they poured into me. So that was really a big step. I always knew that I only wanted to work for myself. I wanted to be able to get my kids from school. I wanted to be able to be at important events, and which I'm blessed. I was able to kind of do all those things, but I knew deep down in my heart, I only wanted to work for Erica. And that was before I got with my husband or anything. I just, didn't know when that time would be right. So what helped me make that decision was just having a my spouse, we do this thing where he do it, where he like growl, like, you know, he got to turn up, and he's real big on like, you know, we're working and we're hustling for our last name, you know, and he is one of those people. You're making the other people, you making these other people rich. We can do this and we can do that. Okay. So he didn't force me. He kind of made me sure about something that I was already sure about. The plus is I was willing to do this as a single woman, you know, willing to deal with whatever financial barriers came with me having that income by myself. So when he's like, no, I'm going to take care of everything. You run your business and our businesses in this house, and I don't want you to worry about money and bills and things like that. It's like when you have that type of support, you know, and it takes stress. It takes some of the stress, you know. I don't have to, you know, worry about rent and things like that. I can just kind of focus on making sure my family's good, my kids are picked up. I'm at I don't miss an event. If they're sick, I don't need a PTO. I can eat for long within an hour. I can vacation as long as I need to. I make sure my husband is taken care of, you know, and those things are a luxury, but it's my job. You know, before we got on, we talked about me taking 3 kids to school, 3 different schools. You know, that is my job. You know, I don't expect that of my husband because, you know, when it's time to pay something, he don't expect that from me.
Right. Look, he's like this. I got this over here.
And it's not that I wouldn't, because I've done it. It's just not something that in his marriage, you know, with me carrying his last name, that he requires of his wife. So it worked for us. So I was to sum it up, I just had that support and that push, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do it, and you know, and I did it, and baby, here we are.
Look, okay,
let's get a look.
She scores. Okay, she
got a little turbulence, but come on now.
Look. Okay, when you get on the plane to go on vacations, it get a little shaky too. But don't you get there?
To fly. I'm gonna go now. Okay, I'm doing 24-hour flights. Look at me. So it's baby steps.
I know.
Baby steps. It has its highs and lows. But what I've told myself and what I know to be true, I have to work harder. I am not working harder enough. You know, I get mad at, oh, this person's not supporting. Well, I didn't get approved for this grant, but there's so many grants that I'm not applying for. There's so many people that I haven't been in front of. So it's just like, okay, that one wasn't for me. This person don't believe, and that's fine, but it doesn't stop me from continuing to just keep going. So
that was the biggest lesson to learn. I was just talking about that with a friend this week in terms of just I think that when we all went into our business, because we kind of started around the same time, like just within that area of, you know, who your supporters are. I think we were trying to look for our internal people, the family, the friends, the coworkers. They were never our target audience.
No.
And I think that once that switch went off, it really kicked everything up for us, because we like, wait a minute, we trying to reach out to people that we know already.
Absolutely.
Higher, you know,
absolutely.
100%.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Now, Erica, for those, because we got a few people that are coming in, for those that may not be familiar with She Is Undefeated, or maybe they didn't see the first interview when you were on, can we just, you know, can you talk a little bit about the work that you do with the organization?
Come on, baby. Absolutely. So She Is Undefeated. This will actually be our 9th year in November.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, you know what I'm noticing, a lot of people get confused by the name. What such a powerful name it is, by the way. She Is Undefeated. But we are a full service organization that we focus on everyone. So educating, uplifting, and serving the community. So what we do is tons of outreach event, which includes and not limited to every last Sunday of the month, we do Giving Sunday. We have code drive, back to school drives. We teach financial literacy. I host the event for moms called the Mommy Chronicle. We do it all. And the overall goal of the organization is to help underprivileged people. I don't like to say homeless, because look at the economy that we're living in. You can be in a home, but still not know like where your next meal is going to come from. It's very hard. This economy is crazy. So the overall goal of the organization is to be a resource for those in need. You know, so that's, you know, low income or underprivileged. That's moms. That's young girls. That's teaching youth as early as 3rd grade up until even when we worked in banking, wealth management companies, the importance of financial literacy. So we're kind of full service. Now, with the name being She Is Undefeated, of course, in my heart, I have a special place for women and girls, you know, and it's just always because, and my husband says all the time, you are so hard on women, and I am, because it's like
Erica gonna get on you for real. Don't get it twisted. She's sweet as pie, but she gonna get up in
I
there.
am so hard on women because I want women to have everything, you know. I want them to have everything, do everything, don't settle, you know. And what's one, I was told, you have to allow people to make their own mistakes, because I made mine, but I'm like, no, forget that. You seen me do it. I learned
you don't do it too.
Everybody, like, don't settle for this. Don't do this. So, you know, it's really like an affirmation. It's an organization name, but it's an affirmation. At the same time, like every time I would go to my daughter's basketball games, I got on the She Is Undefeated sweatshirt, and win, lose, or draw, I'm yelling at them, play to the end, you know, never give up, because I always want women to know, regardless of the battle, because we gonna have them, do not allow it to defeat you. It's you know, it's not to defeat you. And they like, you need to have, he is undefeated. I'm like, that's a man's job. You know,
that's right. That's right.
A man's job, you know. And yeah, so we're full service. We do it all. We do it all. So that's my.
You know, I definitely wanted to touch on that, Erica, because like I said, when you first started, I know that the Giving Sundays, that's probably been one of the longest initiatives that you had running, but it was, you know, it's been refreshing to see, especially over the last few years, you introducing some of the newer initiatives to She Is Undefeated to really expand that and to help. So you know that I make everyone pick a favorite.
Okay.
So what I've decided tonight, you know, you again, with all of your initiatives that you've launched, the Mommy Chronicles, Giving Sunday, you know, even we've had packing parties, we've given out book bags, supplies. Which initiative has personally been one of your favorites? I mean, you know, that you personally like to do?
You know, it's really the Mommy Chronicles. It really is, because and what I love about the Mommy Chronicles is a lot of people have it misconstrued. You don't have to be a single mother. It's for mamas, you know. Sometimes a mother just need a space to kind of just get it off their chest.
That's right.
Some moms are not even comfortable getting off their chest. They kind of just want to listen to other moms to make sure they're not feeling bad for lying, saying they got to work, but they really spent 8 hours just having a peace of mind. Like, they need to know this is not wrong. Other moms are overwhelmed too. So it's really just a place to unpack and unload. And it's not a place where it's not a negative space, because sometimes, you know, you're looking for a positive advice, or you want to let off some positive news, and you don't have a circle where you can let that news off without seeming like you're bragging, you know. So it's really a full service, and I actually love it, because, you know, we get on there and I tell people, come as you are. If that means bonnet, come on with the bonnet. If you frying chicken while you're doing it, come on. And chicken get to pop it too loud, I mute you.
No.
Come on in.
Come on anyway, right.
And you know, and get your cocktail, whatever your vice is. And that's why it's the Chronicles, because some mothers, you know, I'm blessed to be able to channel that hour off. But it's some others like, I want to be a part, but I don't got that hour. Come with your mess. And if it gets too loud, and if you comfortable, I tell that baby, go and sit down now. You see mama doing something, because it take a village. So if you need to tap in,
mommy need a break. Okay.
She's doing something, that go and sit down. So it's one of my favorites, because it's also what I like about it. I'm able to reach more people because it's virtual. So people all over can just click in. You know, I've had people from New Jersey, Philadelphia, and that kind of made me smile. I'm like, how you find out about that?
Look, Erica, she's across the United States, honey, and going international. Okay.
And they like, oh, I saw it on the Eventbrite, or I saw an ad. I'm like, okay, them ads is worth it, because that money. Marketing, okay, it's not. So that would be my favorite. Yes.
Look, I love that, because, you know, with moms, they need that community. You know, everybody is gonna always need a mommy. It ain't even got to be your own kids. And if you around, you know, mothers are going to mother, and so they need a safe space to be able to just kind of like, hey, let me lay this all down, or let's have some fun.
And sometimes, you know, believe it or not, they want to, you know, rant about spouse, you know, they want to get into that. And I try to focus it, you know, just so it don't turn into like a man bashing. I don't want to be associated with that, because I can't relate. You know, I don't want to come off as that.
Right, like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't.
Let's read.
Maybe in another life, but not this one.
I can send you some links. No, but yes, that's other than that. I do try to keep it focused on that. But other than that, it's like let loose. Just get it off your chest or share advice. You know, how would you handle this? How would you handle that? So we have a time.
Now, Erica, let me tell you, because everyone of course everyone knows Erica with with your business and everything, but I will say this. Since I know you for real, I love the fact that you've been bringing these communications together, because if y'all know Erica for real, like back in the day, she would be like, y'all figure it out. So how does it feel for you to kind of go from, you would be around people and everything, but now you are building communities?
Yeah.
What's that transition been like?
You know what? I can say it was a genuine transition. Most people will come out of that shell when they need something.
That's right.
Versus, actually having a genuine one. I had to realize, like, girl, being that standoffish, you can't run a business like that. And people don't really get to see the real you. People don't know you are a ball of life, or however y'all see me, because, I'm real in the back. I'm scoping. I don't trust you.
What y'all doing?
Exactly. So it was not easy to open up, but I love it. I love meeting new people. It's brought new opportunities, not from just myself, but I love being a resource to people. I love that people can trust me as a resource. So, getting rid of that antisocial bug and moving around a little bit. I like it.
You are totally the social butterfly, though. You have been for a long time.
But I've baby steps.
We're transitioning.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Now, something that I really wanted to touch on. So outside of your nonprofit work, you're also the co-founder of Eastway Construction.
Oh, girl.
And I really just wanted to know what it was like, just as a fellow entrepreneur myself. How is it kind of like balancing working such different industries for you? What is
that's a great question. So coming from the last field that we both are similar in, the commercial property management, it actually taught me a lot about being in construction. So a little bit about Eastway Construction. I own the company with my husband, and that was another business that we kind of just jumped into, but he comes from that, so with his hands-on, I kind of self-taught myself and still learning everything that there is to know about construction. I'm on course. What is it? Coursera. Come on, whatever that little site is. Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
They have a lot of free programs on there. Believe it or not, CHA, they offer a lot of programs where they come in and they'll teach you different, things free. So I'm on there. And then a lot of things also comes with trial and error. I knew nothing about construction. So it's hard. The hardest part is working with my husband. Okay. So because I have to tell him, I'm like, I need you to employ me. I need you to take wife off and before wife, spouse off. Yeah. This is you talking to your business partner. You working with your business partner. And I'm gonna let you know, corporate America, Erica was for no mess. I walk off jobs.
Y'all, Erica used to be a firecracker.
Because we gonna have some, but it gets so intense, when you doing these projects and you got deadlines, and I work a little different than him. I am very much on the last minute side because I'm operations. Okay. So if it's a contract that's due, if it's a bid that's due, if it's a course or a license that's going to expire, he see me over here doing like she is Undefeated. I'm working on an Airbnb, and he like, at what point? And I'm like, I got this. But sometimes he gets a little scared, but just like I have to trust him to go to the actual job site and get the job done, because I'm not laying no towel and I'm not doing anything. You got to trust. And I always get it done, baby, all the time. So, it's that, and I have to reel him in. I need you to talk to your business partner right now. And as your business partner, I will let you know, where would I resign? Because I'm not for the attitude. I don't got to be here.
I just noticed something.
Yeah.
Hold your hand up.
What?
You're not ready anymore. Oh my God. Look, y'all, Erica is notorious for wearing red nails. What's going on? Girl, what?
Girl, 9 years of red polish is diabolical. I just wanted to switch it up and try something different. And it's been really hard. And shout out to the girls that go to the nail shop and can look at that palette and choose a color, because I'm in there pissing them off because I'm real big on seasons and I can't do pink when it's cold and I can't do yellow. You know, I'm just real big on seasons. So it's hard. So if you can just do that, you one of them girls, because baby steps for me.
That's the first, because I was just looking at your hands while you were talking. I was like,
9 years. I know, right? I'm just These goals. Shout out to my friend for noticing that change.
Yes, because look, Erica be like, red,
430, please, Ferrari red. Yes. Oh, and then what's being salted if they gave me that little color palette? Oh, how dare you, baby? I know what I want.
Right. Like, oh, girl, no, I don't need that.
Give it to someone else that's unsure about themselves. But now that'll be me. So yeah. I'm into the cat eye now, but I want to try it all.
It's really pretty. I love that. I mean, you killed it on the nails. Every time I saw it, look, Erica's hands is pristine. And she gonna check those cuticles, period. Get it together.
Somehow people judging me.
Not in a bad way. Look, one thing, Erica, I tell you what, we've been knowing each other for a long time. And I will say this, you always keep it real. And I think that that's honestly what even the people, your communities that you serve, like you show up authentically and you require for them to be the same way. So
I'm a work in progress. I'm not perfect, but I do try to give my authentic self, and it's just easier that way. My memory's bad and I can't remember the lies. So it's just always best for me to come with my truth. I've always been comfortable just being flawed and being an open book, because believe it or not, I want people to be able to relate. I want people to feel like, and I'm going to say it, I am married twice. And that was the biggest, one of my biggest insecurities. It felt the first time I was just terrified to do it again. I knew I wasn't doing it, but I'm comfortable speaking about it because, there may be someone that's uncertain and gonna miss out on their person. Because baby, I couldn't miss out on mine, child, because, I was young and
I remember you said that. I was like, girl, never say never. And
I tell people all the time, jail and marriage is two things you cannot get out of when you want to. It's not that easy, baby. Don't write that down somewhere. So you think about that, but this was, a lot of things you choose for yourself, and God doesn't, but God chose this every up and with your way. I don't even make decisions this good. This is of God. I don't even make this is of Him. This is of the good Lord. So yeah, but I'm comfortable with just being open and being flawed, and it's I don't feel like you can ever blackmail me. I done told it already. So and
you said what? Okay.
Yeah, because because she told us. I'm just okay with being that way.
That's right.
Right. Little firecracker.
We've been talking about just, I think, like just the growth and the evolution. Mm-hmm. And when you think about day one of when you launched She Is Undefeated to where it is now, how do you feel kind of like that the purpose and the growth of the organization, that it's evolved as time has gone by?
Girl, I ain't even have a domain day one. Didn't know what a domain was. Girl, I'm operating under Wix.she. You don't know what you got.
Oh my God. Look, and we were still supporting. I'm like, y'all better donate too.
Like, could she buy her domain? Because there's too many letters to type out. All I knew, Demetri, is that I had the passion, but I didn't know the business aspect. And I had to learn. Like I said, I made so many mistakes. I just didn't know. I just jumped all in. All I knew is I wanted to help people. I want to help people, and my family's going to help me. My friends is going to help me. And over the years, and they have, but over the years, I had to learn, babe, you have to branch out. You don't want to just pull from your family and your friends. You want to help more people. You want to, be known by more people. Yeah. So from day one to where we are today, babe, we was at a little Radisson hotel, a little Stony motel. Now we giving very much.
Girl, did you say a Stony motel by Erica?
Marriott. Yeah, the Marriott, Hilton Honors. I'm learning a lot. I'm taking, I take classes. I'm not afraid to post something oh, that was wrong. I see how they did it. Let me delete that. I'm okay with making mistakes. So I'm still teachable, and what I do know now is that now that mistakes do happen, not be so hard on myself, but running a business, especially a nonprofit, it's so many laws, it's so much you have to know. At first I didn't even know about a board. Girl, I'm just winging it. I'm just out here. No, I'm a nonprofit for real. Baby, no, you're not. You don't have this, you don't have that. So I really had to teach myself. And there's not a lot of people. I'm blessed to have a lot of friends that are self-employed and entrepreneurs, but I'm kind of one in the nonprofit field. So I didn't have that kind of, I don't want to say
community.
Yeah, but that community, like, what did you do here? I literally had to teach myself kind of everything, and which I am. I'm still teaching myself, and we're here. We're still growing.
Well, Erica, I feel like right now would be a good time, in light of you just saying that, for not only for you to just share some of the initiatives and things that's coming up, but really just the call to action for anyone that listens in. How can we help you on your mission for She is Undefeated? What can we do to help you?
Absolutely. What I will say, surprisingly, is actually just spreading the word. The organization is really in a position to help so many people. We have a lot of partnerships and we have a lot of resources, but there's so many people that's unfamiliar with She is Undefeated. So actually spreading the word, if you hear about individual that are in need of, and I limited at resources because it's full service and I like to keep people's needs confidential. So if you know people that are kind of in need of different things, send them our way, send them our website, and we will reach out to them and see in what ways we can help. But spreading the word is really kind of one of the best ways of helping us right now in this moment. Of course, always donations, but there's not a business that doesn't need help with funding.
Yeah.
But, something that you can do that's now and that's free and that you can do several times a day, every day, spread the word, reshare will be greatly appreciated.
And Erica, you also, because I feel like that this is notable to mention for those that shop at Amazon and Walmart, you also have some things where the organization is able to get a kickback with that. Are you able to send me those links?
I can send you those things. Absolutely. So Amazon has since dismantled theirs, but Walmart still has, where you shop at Walmart, you can choose a nonprofit organization to round off your change to. That program is called Spark Goods. And then you can select She is Undefeated as an organization and you round off that change and they'll send it to us. And we also have that with Kroger and Food for Less as well. So I'll send you those things.
Please do.
Send it to your people.
Girl, where's the Kroger's at? We need where's Kroger's?
Food for Less here, but that's worldwide. So Kroger's, we had a Kroger's. Didn't we have a Kroger's?
All around the world, baby. All around the world.
So I had to throw in that Kroger family because that's where that check come from.
Yeah, ma'am. Okay.
Food for Less and Mariano's is an extension of Kroger's as well.
Okay.
Yep.
So for everyone that's tuning in, y'all heard where you can go ahead and you can let's round that change up. We're gonna leave a little bit more than some change, but round it up.
Okay.
Round it up.
I want for begging, but
now, do you have any events or things that just any events or things that we can attend, or the Mommy Chronicles? When is the next time?
Okay, so a few things actually. Well, this is centered more towards young ladies, but I am with my calendar being completed, I am gonna reach out to you because I have a marketing day. So I'm gonna reach out to you. But we have a program called the Remaining Undefeated program. And it's for Chicago public school girls ages grades 3rd through 12th. So I meet with them twice a month and we have different topics and, empowerment, financial literacy, kind of their safe space. So I am looking for a few people to come in and kind of volunteer their time to meet with the girls, kind of based off the agenda. If they feel like, oh, well, on this day, April 16th, don't quote me on the day, I know I could be a benefit there. I would love to have people come in. I know that it's cold, but we are still hosting Giving Sunday every last Sunday of the month on 79th and Adair Ryan. I sat on the corner. Now, you are very safe. There's always police presence. They always make sure that we're okay. Believe it or not, they treat us very well. We're never out there long. People get their meals, baby, and when it's gone, it's gone. And I don't even want to hype on it, but I get 30 minutes like in and out. They get the meals and they're there to exhaust. They get the meals and they get the resource bags and they're out. And also it's not too early. We're already working on, back to school events and,
Okay.
our 9th year anniversary, we're going to host an event. So there's always,
Ma'am, send me the day. I know. Look, send me the day and let me know.
there's always some things going on. And I'm still just, creating programs as we go. We have a lot of joint partnership events coming that I have the dates on our website. So we're working and I'm just laying down and then I'll wake up like, we need to implement this. So
do this.
it's like a wheel. Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Yes.
Oh, Erica, this is you don't even understand. Like because I see the stuff, and whenever I see it, I don't get. Erica could be having an onion party. Do you hear me? And I'm sharing it anyway, just because that's my sis.
You have always been one of my biggest support, like in business and in life. Like when I'm in the trenches, like life. And I don't even got to go there, but you have always however you can support me. So I appreciate that. So I love you. So
especially in our early stages, girl. I was broke when you first launched your business. I was like, look, I'm like, most I could do for you is 3 cases of water.
And did that, but you are the reason I had a space for my launch party. You helped me more than you have always been my, biggest supporter. And if you could put me, in a position, extra media pass, you need to come. I'm like, let me get up,
girl. Because we was outside last week, last year. We had a good.
So yeah, you are always looking out for me, and I appreciate that.
Forever.
Okay, girl, it's what you do. I ain't real good. How you doing, girl? Come on now, give me an emoji. Get some emojis out.
Girl, I don't want no problems now. Erica, before you leave me tonight, I if you could, for real. If there is a young lady or a young, a woman that is listening to this broadcast, or they will listen to it at some point, and they are just at a place where they're like, life is beating me down. I feel defeated right now.
Yeah.
Okay. If you could offer them a word just from the things that you've been through, from, and just everything that you're doing now, if you could offer them a piece of advice or just a soft word, what would you say to that woman?
See, it's the soft part that I struggle with. Okay, it won't be too. No, honestly, if you still have breath, you're not defeated. People go through life feeling like there are going to be no hard days. This is going to be easy for them, and I want them to kind of lose that aspect and just realize that you are going to be your biggest supporter. As long as you have faith in yourself, strengthen your relationship with God, and I don't want to make it religion, but those are the only people that I can kind of speak to, because just off what I've been through, you have to have a relationship with God. You have to know, even when it doesn't appear that it's going to go your way, trust in the Lord. I always ask, Lord, do your will in my life, because it's always some stuff I might want, but that may not be his will for me. So I'm always very clear, Lord, do what you see fit for my life, and things are going to work out for you. But if you still have breath, you are not defeated, and it's going to be hard. Nothing comes easy, and you shouldn't want it easy. It means more. When I was just in Bali, not to brag, I felt like I deserved that.
You did.
Because it's just, everything that I've been through, and, with my husband, it's like, I don't know if I could sip the same if my life was easy, because I would feel like I'm supposed to be here instead of just having that grateful heart. Like, wow, we went through X, Y, and Z, and we're still here. We partied a little harder. We woosawed a little deeper. We stared into each other's eyes a little longer, because we fought every battle, and we still did it. So don't shy away from the hard times, and don't try to avoid them. Just seatbelt on. When you put that seatbelt, you see that seatbelt sign, put it on, and you still kind of got to go through it. And it's really that. It's how you prep talk yourself. Girl, didn't I tell you my husband be growling?
Hey, look, we got our stuff that we do here too. I'm like, hey, we got to pipe it up. We got to get that energy together.
You got to kind of talk to yourself. You got to have hard conversations. And I tell myself, you was acting real weak today. You giving weak.
I just told my friend, I said, I speak to myself sometimes like Jocelyn Hernandez be speaking to the girls on Jocelyn's Cabaret.
I ain't never seen it, but I know Jocelyn. I seen her.
You already know. I be like,
you have to, you kind of got to boss up. You got to get out that simp stage. Just why is it happening to me? Why not you? It's happening to other people too. You just got to boss up through it. And to say that I wake up every day with this mindset would be a lie. But when I do jump back on my horse, it's like, oh, okay, I needed that day, but I'm back. I'm who I am. I'm very undefeated. I'm very gonna get this done. Period. You know what the girls do.
Undefeated, baby.
Mhm.
It's all in the name. It's the aura. It's
Absolutely.
the energy. It's
Thank you, love.
yeah. Look, before you leave me tonight, let them know where they can follow you and also give them the website too.
Okay, so I'm on Instagram as She Is Undefeated, Facebook She Is Undefeated Inc., the website www.sheisundefeated.com, TikTok She Is Undefeated Inc. I ain't real good with TikTok, child, but you know,
We changing that in 2026 because my friend is not gonna get left behind.
because I'm struggling very much. So, but follow me on TikTok and watch that growth too, because baby, it ain't none really right now. I ain't got much for you, but I'm gonna get there. So yeah, but the website is always the most updated, as well as our Instagram. And Demetria, thank you so much.
I love
you.
Yes, y'all give it up in the comments for Erica, my Erica, as
Brother,
I
when
call
you
her.
say my name is diabolical.
Look, I always say whenever I call her, I'm like Erica.
I could be in a crisis right there, but when I say hello, she Erica, I'm like Demetria. I am going through a Mayday. You out, okay?
I'm done. Says have a good night. Until
You
next time.
too.
Because one thing Erica says she gonna come back. Erica's coming
come
back.
back.
So,
I'm gonna come back. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Have a great show. I'll still be tuning in, listening in. Love you.
You better. Love you too. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I told y'all. See, my heart is filled. Do you understand? Eric, when I tell you we've had a long road. That is one of my really, really good sister girlfriends. And I just I'm so happy for her with all of the growth for her business and all of the things that she's going to do. Okay. So y'all make sure that y'all take a moment, definitely go and follow her page. Make sure that let's support She Is Undefeated. I will personally be sharing up those links so that if you shop with Walmart or Kroger's, Mariano's, any of the other ones that she mentioned, where she gets a direct kickback from any time that you make a purchase. Let's make sure that we really lock in and we support her. I'm going to leave her information here at the bottom, but I got to take a quick break. When we come back, we're hopping into tonight's Hate It and Love It. Be right back.
Be sure to shop Pretty Curvy Savage, where style meets comfort, and you can be bold and be fierce. This plus-size clothing line is everything that you need in your closet, ladies. So be sure to visit prettycurvysavage.com and use promo code MzMetchi10 for your special discount. Okay, bye. Hey, are you struggling with weight loss? Try everything and the scale hasn't moved for you? Well, I think it's time for you to call our good friends over at Live Long Health. They have everything that you need to help with weight loss management, and they also offer a plethora of other services. So make sure that you go ahead and head to livelonghealth.net, okay? Or call 708-998-5542, okay? And guess what? The best thing is you can treat yourself now and pay later. They accept several different payment types, and baby, it's time for you to go ahead and make that move to get healthy. So choose to live long with Live Long Health. All right, y'all, it's time for Hate It and Love It. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to the Blueprint Live. It's your girl, MzMetchi, and it is time for tonight's Hate It and Love It. Now, first off, let me start off by saying this. I have to go and get my little butters whipped today. So my first love, it has to go to Daniel at the Minas in Matson. He, I only let two people when it comes to my natural hair play up in my head, because y'all cannot let everybody play in your head. Don't let them play in your head. But Daniel, that's my dude. What's up, Renita? Be your own kind. In the building. You cute. Thank you. I know wherever you at, you cute too, girl. Come on now. But I went after work. I got off a little early, and let me tell y'all what happened. Can we keep it real? We're gonna keep it real tonight on Hate It and Love It. So I had on, oh my goodness, I think that was my 28-inch bust down. So it's part down the middle. I'm like, it's laid cool. that unit had just it began to irritate me as I was on my way back. And I was trying to figure out if I want to go today or if I want to go tomorrow to the shop. I was like, let me stop in. Because Daniel and Miss Tish from Enhance Your Beauty Salon, and then Daniel from Mina's, them the only two people that I will allow to do my natural hair. I'm like, nobody else, y'all put no shears to me, no color, nothing, only those two. So I had to go pull up on Daniel. And because I was in the car and that unit had just got too tight on my head. I was like, Lord, did I put the strap too tight? What's going on? So needless to say, I stopped up in there. Baby, look, let me tell you this. I walked in at, was it? I think it was like 3. It was just about 3 o'clock. No. It was later than that because I left. So it was like maybe 3:45. It was 3:45, something around that area. I was back in my car at 4:50. I was back at 4:50. That when I tell you I love Mina's, I don't know if people like the assembly line type of situation when it comes to the hair, but whenever I go see Daniel takes care of me as soon as I'm out the bowl. So as soon as I come up and they towel dry my hair, I'm going to sit in Daniel's chair. Shout out to you, Daniel. Okay, and men that do hair, baby, they do some hair. Let's be clear. Now, let me get into a hated it. And I don't know if you all have had this happen to you, but let me just kind of walk you through the scenario. I'm talking with my coworkers today while I was at work, because of course I had to go in the office. First off, the hated it is that we have to go into the office all the time. I'm really I'm starting to despise it. But needless to say, we're in the office on Thursday. Y'all know I usually be at home. Boo. But I'm there, and I'm not gonna lie, we were talking about kava because we were trying to figure out what we were having for lunch. And you know how when you're in a group conversation and everyone is talking, and you may not just have a moment to say anything. And then when you finally do, the conversation abruptly ends, or everybody is just kind of they get real quiet, and it's just well, damn, y'all was just hee-hawing a couple moments ago. That's the hated it. It happens a lot when I'm in the corporate space. That's probably where it happens the most, where it's just okay, you all have had this conversation, and then as soon as I say something, now everyone gets quiet. When I tell you the conversation ended, I didn't even say anything crazy. I was just oh yeah, I made kava bowls at home. Because I did. I was oh, I learned how to make it at the house. I was excited about it. I'm excited. Damn it. Be excited with me. And then it was just they literally just went silent, and then everybody dispersed. I'm this is why I don't have conversations with y'all. Because whenever I go to work, I will go and put my little headphones in. I'm sending voice notes to Kim. Kim's sending voice notes to me. We talk to each other throughout the day it's a dang on podcast. We do. We get in the studio often. So I'm I could have been at my desk doing that while I'm over here trying to have a conversation with y'all. Y'all acting like y'all don't want to talk to the girl. What's going on? That's the hated it. Now, another hated it for me is, I don't know what it is about this year. And I'll say even from the holidays, because for some reason in corporate America, it was off the chain. They acted like we were not going on break for a couple weeks. They were working up until the last moment that we were clocked in. But I have been extremely overstimulated at multiple times through, due to work. So that's the hated it. The love it, to kind of sum it all up, I do like the fact that I've been finding very intentional ways that, oh, hey, she said, I love it there. Me too. I've been finding very intentional ways that when I immediately notice myself kind of getting to a place of being overstimulated, drawing that feeling back a little bit quicker. Even though we are all adults, most of the people that listen, we're adults on the show. I think that we all can learn different ways to self-regulate when we feel ourselves kind of going a little bit off of the path. And for me, when I feel myself just at this place of extreme overstimulation, and it could be just from, I'm trying to take care of a task at work, the phone's ringing, a tenant walked in, they're calling my name. I'm finding that as I'm getting older, I'm like, it's too much noise. Y'all saying my name too many times. Everybody shut up. Everybody leave me alone. But I've been being more intentional about taking moments or just putting certain practices in place to bring myself back so that it doesn't even get to a place where I might be, stimulated, but I'm trying to keep it at a place where it's not overstimulation. That's not good. When you are dysregulated like that, you are not as sharp as you should be. You can, make just different decisions, just little silly, stupid mistakes that if you were not overstimulated, you would be able to think through and kind of regulate yourself out of those situations. So I think that, of course, being overstimulated, naturally, that's the hate of it. But being able to come out of it or not, I saw something recently on TikTok where it's just like not allowing certain moments or different things to take up more than just the moment, right? So you can be mad in that moment, you can be upset in that moment, whatever it is that you're feeling. But the point of it is to not stay there. And y'all know my mantra that I live by: allow yourself to have a moment, an episode, or a season, but don't stay there. And for me, I'm finding that my moments are becoming more like milliseconds because I just can't. You gotta let the stuff roll off of you. You gotta let it roll off. So that's what I'll leave you all with. Renita, she said, you have to take those moments because life ain't going to give it to you. You have to take those moments. Absolutely. If you don't, you'll find yourself just running and running and running until you finally crash. And that's never the move. That's never the move. Auntie Tracy said, hey, beautiful. Hey, girl, what's up? You're not late. You just getting to the party. You missed Erica. You missed my friend Erica. But that's okay. I know you're going to go back and catch the replay. Now, after this break, we're going to hop into tonight's Hate It and Love It. And, this person is needing a little bit of some spiritual help tonight. And we're hoping that we can be able to help them out with that. So after this break, we'll go ahead and we'll hop in.
Are you in need of a mobile bartender for your next event? Contact Paris Ice Bar today. From crafted cocktails, tapas and hookah, Paris Ice Bar has you covered. Visit ibringhappyhour.com or call 407-707-8202.
Hey, are you struggling with weight loss? Try everything and the scale hasn't moved for you? Well, I think it's time for you to call our good friends over at Live Long Health. They have everything that you need to help with weight loss management, and they also offer a plethora of other services. So make sure that you go ahead and head to livelonghealth.net, okay? Or call 708-998-5542, okay? And guess what? The best thing is you could treat yourself now and pay later. They accept several different payment types, and baby, it's time for you to go ahead and make that move to get healthy. So choose to live long with Live Long Health.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the...
Let's get into today's What Would You Do? Where we're talking about real situations with real people and offering real solutions.
All right, it's time. And I know with this topic, y'all gonna be like, girl, why you taking a shot to this? But I feel like we got to do it anyway. Y'all already know I have my Copajn poured up. Y'all see the MzMetchi shot glass? I love it. I love it. So I already have my shot poured. Let's go ahead. Let's maybe we'll take a sip of wine. All right, here's tonight's What Would You Do? When I was a kid, I was always forced to go to church. So when I turned 18, I stopped going and I stopped reading the Bible altogether. I was raised a Christian. I would always pray. I also lived a rough life. And I guess I would start to question why God would allow someone to endure so much pain in life. And I kind of lost my faith. Now I'm 27 and I want to have a better relationship with God, but I don't really know where to start. I have so much anger and pain in me that I don't know how to let go of the trauma and pain that I experienced. I want to be able to let go of all of this anger and pain that I have and give myself more self-love and happiness. I want peace and happiness within myself, but don't know how to let go and let God in. What's some advice that you can give to start a better relationship with God and to move towards healing? What would you do? This is actually a really, really good one. This one. Let me say this. I have always had a relationship, always been, a Christian woman. I love God. I understand who God is to me and how he has put his hands on me in a lot of situations. And when I read this one and I knew I wanted to share it with you all, it took me back to probably the time when um my mom passed in 2011, and I can be very, very transparent with you all, that at that time, my mom, she literally passed from complications with stage 4 colorectal cancer, right? And my mom was a registered nurse. That was her career. And she took care of the very people, that were also afflicted by some type of cancer. She was, med surge, all of that. She took care of a little bit of everybody. And I remember that on the day that she had transitioned, I didn't know at that time when I was headed back up to the hospital, I didn't know that she had actually transitioned. And I can just remember that one of the first emotions that I felt when I was by myself, because to paint the picture for you, I remember I was in my car and I was talking to Ebony. Shout out to her. She was like the sister that lived with us, all of that. But um I didn't know that she had passed. So I was sitting in the car, and I mean, when I tell you, I don't think that me and Ebony, we prayed a lot over the years, but I don't think naturally that we had prayed as hard as we did that day, because my mom was in pretty bad shape at that point. And I remember when I walked in and when I finally recognized what happened, and we had to kind of just get through everything. Family is there, all of that. But one of the first things when I was by myself, I was angry. And we had to do arrangements and do all of the things to get that together. But I could remember being that it was a continuous anger for me. And I can say it out loud because me and God is the homie, and we didn't talked and reconciled. But I was mad at God. I'm like, God, now why would you do this? I could not understand it. My mind would not allow me to fathom how it went down like that. Like, I'm like, dang, if it had to go down, why did it have to go down like that? And I struggled for maybe about a year and a half after my mom passed with just like that those feelings of just, I did not understand how we were being put through all of this pain, how her last days and her last time with us, how it was so painful for her. And the first thing that I had to do was naturally, in order to get with God, sometimes you have to go to his house. You have to go, you have to go to church, or you have to get with a trusted spiritual person, whether if it's within the church or just someone that like that their walk, they are taking an active walk with God. And the first step is really just, I think I felt like that this particular submission was very, very bold in terms of sometimes you just have to call it out. I'm very big on whatever it is that you have going on, calling it out. Let's put some words to it, because once you do that, it allows you to understand where some of those pitfalls or those holes are, so that you could begin to fill them. And in your case, okay, I could recognize being forced to go to church. I'm not going to lie. We were forced to go to church a little bit as kids too. And and I'm not going to say that it made me not want to go, but I'm just like, you know what? I'm like, it made me want to have more autonomy on when I wanted to go. Because some Sundays I may not want to go. So the first thing that I would recommend for tonight's What Would You Do is to, you know, maybe just try to, maybe even if you don't want to step inside of a church, there's so many pastors that make their sermons and just their teachings, they put those online. Someone that I actually really love to listen to, I mean, when I tell you he gets me hyped up, is probably Pastor Mike. And I don't know, because some of the pastors, they be into some different things. I don't know the man's personal stuff, but when I listen to anything that he has to say, it's very powerful, it's uplifting, and it's rooted in the word. It's rooted in the word, all of it. Okay. So it's meant to uplift and inspire. So, we are in different times as we, are adults. This person is 27, but we're in different times where it's just like, church is not like how it used to be. You got to go and you got to have a skirt that's down to your knees, and, you can't wear pants if you're a woman and all of those things, unless you go to that type of church. But there are so many different church and religious communities rooted, of course, within God, within Christianity, that you can go and be a part of, where it doesn't feel like kind of like that old school feel. And someone that's 27, you are clearly, you a newer kid or a newer adult that's on the block. So that would probably be my first recommendation. Let me go into the comments. Renita said, just pray to him as you are. Yeah. When I was angry, I had a real conversation with God. I stopped going to church after my mom passed for a little while. I did. I could not bring myself to go. And actually one of the first times that I went back was we had done a dedication. They had dedicated a part of the church to my mom, because I mean, she loved our church. She really, really did. And when they did that, that was one of the first things where I knew that I needed to go back. It was. It really, really was. But I had to tell God in my conversation, I'm just like, I'm angry and I don't understand. And I need you at this moment to close the gap for me. So praying as you are, God wants you to come as you are. And I'm sorry for anybody that's on here that maybe you're not religious. You might not believe in God. You might believe in Buddha or whatever the case is. So think about it in tonight's conversation. If you are not per se a Christian, or you praise someone else, we can all still be included in the conversation. But sometimes we get weary in our faith. It doesn't matter what you praise. We just so happen to praise God over here. Okay. But sometimes we get weary in our faith, but God wants you to come as you are. So if you are angry, if you are hurt, if you are sad, if you are at a place where you cannot comprehend whatever it is that's going on with you, God wants you to still come to him. It doesn't matter. He never said that we had to be perfect. He never said that. So praying and just and tell him what's on your heart. The beautiful thing about it is that even the things that you don't say, he still knows what's on your heart. That's the beautiful part about it. You don't even have to say a word. But coming as you are, it's okay. Even if you come in and you have emotions or have some different things that you don't like right now, that's okay too. And Renita also added, he can handle your anger. He always meets us where we are. Come on now. Now see, look, sis, as the comments is coming up, I didn't even see that one. But he will meet you where you are. God knew when I came to him that I was upset at that time. But we want to be very direct in our prayers to him too. Tell him what it is that you need. Lord, I need you to soften my heart. I'm upset. Lord, I lived a hard life. I'm trying to reconcile with the things and the traumas that I experienced. He does want to hear from you because he already knows what's going on in your story. He's going to meet you where you are and close that gap. Close that gap. Auntie Tracy was there. Of course, she remembers. Of course, she remembers. So with this situation, to start a better relationship, just start talking to him. If you're not ready to step back foot and make a church your home, that's okay too. Figure out where some of your friends and family are going to church. Maybe join them on a Sunday, right? I will say this. When I can remember the first time I am a member of Grace Community Christian Church, formerly Grace Community Baptist Church, and have been a member since I was a child. And I'll say this, the first moment when we walked in, it was myself, my sister, my dad, and of course my mom at the time. And the way that they brought us in, the way that, you can hear the word when they do their sermons, they don't just give you one Bible verse and then they don't never reference the word. I mean, we're not talking about that. We're talking about this was real church. When you know that that's your new church home, you just know. And when God is ready for you to find a home, he'll put you in the right place. But you got to start. You have to start. And Auntie Tracy said, come in your own time. And then this is the thing, you know what, Auntie Tracy, I agree with that. But it's just like, one of the things that I will say with that is that, God don't be taking his time to come through for us. So if you recognize it as something that you want to do, close the gap now. Save your soul, if nothing else. So I will wrap this particular one up. I think this was sound advice. Come to him as you are. Maybe start looking online for some, look for some online communities, just some people that you wouldn't mind praising God with. Maybe he wants you to kind of join with the other ones that's coming to see about him too. Right. And you're not the only one. There are a lot of people that have a strained relationship with their higher being. But once you have identified that gap is there, it's up to you to also, you got to meet him too. So God gonna meet you where you are. You got to meet him too. That's the advice that I would give with that. Now, of course, y'all know it's break time, but when I come back, we're going to be talking about what's happening and what's up. And y'all, I have some stories. Somewhat a little bit disturbing. I don't know. It's a lot going on, but I feel like we got a lot to talk about right after this break.
Hey, are you struggling with weight loss? Try everything and the scale hasn't moved for you? Well, I think it's time for you to call our good friends over at Live Long Health. They have everything that you need to help with weight loss management, and they also offer a plethora of other services. So make sure that you go ahead and head to livelonghealth.net, okay? Or call 708-998-5542, okay? And guess what? The best thing is you can treat yourself now and pay later. They accept several different payment types, and baby, it's time for you to go ahead and make that move to get healthy. So choose to live long with Live Long Health. Be sure to shop Pretty Curvy Savage, where style meets comfort, and you can be bold and be fierce. This plus-size clothing line is everything that you need in your closet, ladies. So be sure to visit prettycurvysavage.com and use promo code MzMetchi10 for your special discount. Okay, bye. Time to get into what's happening and what's up in these streets. Let's get it.
Let's get it. It's time for tonight's What's Happening, What's Up. Now, look, okay, I got a few stories. Now, I want to kick it off with the two stories. Shout out to Anthony. Look, y'all, my husband, he loves to be in the background, but let me tell you this, he always sends me some very interesting stories. So I want to start off with the two that he sent. Shout out to you, baby. I appreciate you, baby. Now the first thing is, did you all hear that the United Center is going to be one of the first stadiums or venues to offer THC infused drinks? Well, my people that like it, I got one here right now. What is this? Plift? Yeah. They're going to start offering those too. Not these, but they're going to be offering the THC drinks at the United Center. And I just thought that was so amazing, because not only are they offering it, but they are the first to do it. The very first. So shout out to the United Center. I mean, when are we going? Tanae, I think Tanae's still on the line. We're going to see Cardi B in March, right? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we're going to go see Cardi B. We got to get us a little infused drink now. Okay? Because I like those. I like to drink those. So I'm excited about that. So shout out. That was our first story for tonight. Now, Another one that was deeply disturbing to me. There's recently been let me go in the comments here. What y'all talking about? Lynn said, yes, heard about it yesterday. How cool is that? Right? Like, get a little buzz at the concert or the hockey game or the basketball game. The United Center, they have so many different events. So I love the fact that I love that Illinois has gotten to a place where they are a little bit more accepting of the canna community. So shout out to them. Now, this next story really bothered me, and I want to find the video that broke it all down, and I'm going to reshare it onto the Blueprint Media Company's page. But this next story that Anthony had actually presented to me, it was in relation to Goodwill. So recently there was a whistleblower, former employee of Goodwill, that exposed some things with the brand, and Goodwill is not... Fortunately, it's not all of what it's cracked up to be. So apparently, Goodwill, when you go to drop off your items, there's a booklet, and this whistleblower exposed this booklet, of course, internal, where they show that, if you go and you drop off something that's like Nike or Gucci, you're some of your more prominent, brands, that the employees at Goodwill are not allowed to put those on the shelves. Now, it also exposed that they had senior citizens and people with disabilities and everything working for about 22 cents an hour at one point. A lot of scamalicious things, but that wasn't the kicker, right? So if you go and you drop off these items at Goodwill, you're thinking like, hey, it's going to get resold. It's going to a good place. It's going to go to someone else. It's going to bless their home or their wardrobe or whatever. With these brands, when they pull them, apparently Goodwill will pull some of those items, and they're adding it to a platform. Goodwill has an auction. They have an auction website that apparently you can go on to and purchase these items. So if you go and I've got a Nike tracksuit, they won't allow it to hit the floor. They immediately pull it, and then they add it to their repertoire of clothing or items to be put onto this auction where they are making money. So this goes from being charitable to now a moneymaker. The whistleblower believes that the Goodwill they're wanting to kind of jump on this is because, people, I know you all have seen the videos online where people, they go and they thrift, and they have their clothes and they're showing their different outfits that they put together and everything. Goodwill said that they wanted a piece of that. So they're taking the high-end items that you drop off. Okay, they're taking those items, and they're not putting them out on the floor for people like you and I. We want to go to the thrift store and we want to go and get jiggy and get some cute stuff. No, they are taking your expensive items and going and selling it for way more than what it's worth. Goodwill has kind of gotten to a place where a lot of the fast fashion, okay, your Sheins, your Sammy dresses, whatever, go with me here, that most of the stores are filled with those items, which of course, fast fashion doesn't really cost that much. But Goodwill is taking those items and actually marking the prices up. Okay. So an item that you might have paid, let's say $5 to $10 for, is now being marked up to where it could be $20 to $30 at Goodwill. And this is just a basic piece of clothing that if you would have gone onto the site yourself, you could have bought it. I really hate that. I tell you what, when my grandma Daisy, when she was alive, she used to love thrifting back in the day. that was her thing, baby. A unique thrift store. I hate to see my granny come. She was a thrifter. Okay, back in the day, we talking about before it became trendy. Okay, she was the one. Then she would go, and I can remember going in the stores with them. But when I saw that story, it deeply disturbed me so much. And that's why, like, even for myself, when I donate or different things, like a organization that my family and I, we've donated to for years, is like AMVET. because, you know, from what we knew, AmVets was one of the ones that we knew that whatever we gave, that it was going directly to veterans in need. And both of my parents were veterans. I have family members that are veterans. So it was, it's always been important to me that as I, if I'm gathering items or different things, AmVets, they come and pick it up right from your doorstep. And I think about when my dad was moving and we were getting rid of a lot of things. He was kind of transitioning. Of course, after my mom passed, we were, he took a lot of things to Goodwill. And just to know that this is what they're doing to the people, it pisses me off. And I think that it should piss you all off too. Okay? No, we have to go direct with who we are giving to. The CEO of Goodwill, he was paying people with disabilities and the elderly and the people that worked for them pennies on the dollar for their services, right? He's paying them pennies on a dollar, y'all. But he happened to take home a little bit over $1 million for his salary. I hate to see it. So I share this story with you all as far as what's happening, what's up, because, I tell you what, a lot of the people that are on, that are supporters of the show, that are supporters of the Blueprint Media Company, even if you all can't check in all the time, we are givers. We give. We like to help. We like to give back to the community. We like that if we're experiencing luxuries, that we're able to help other people experience luxuries. But let me tell you this, they're not right for that. And it's okay to take a stand to say when people are doing some things that's fugazi. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay. It's giving scamalicious. And it's giving that when we are going to give and when we want to make sure that it gets into the right hands, we got to make sure that we are checking who we're giving to. Because, see, you might have honest intentions, but that organization may not. We got to get that together. Let me get over in these comments. What y'all talking about over here? Renita said the scam of it all. It's a big scam, sis. A horrible scam. Horrible. Horrible. Lynn said, that's why I donate clothing to nursing homes and assisted living facilities. I'm a nursing home administrator and I rather give to them than Goodwill. Absolutely. I want to make sure, I've previously in my life have dropped off items to Goodwill, because I tell you what, I'm a plus size girl. And whenever I get ready to give out clothes, especially like now that I've lost weight and all of these different things, I've given away heaps of clothing, y'all. I in my mind, I always envision like another plus size baddie that she just like, I just want to look cute. She just want to have something. I want to make sure that if I'm giving stuff, especially if it's name brand, especially if it's a brand that is, this is, something that's, it's going to make the girlies feel good. I want to make sure that it gets into their hands. If I've already bought it, I don't need you going and selling it and marking it up and putting it on an auction. And aren't they a non-for-profit? How do we go from it being Goodwill to now you making a profit, and then you've got stuff in your store that's probably worth $5, but you're getting 70 to 90% of a markup on it? That's absolutely insane. And for the CEO, shame. I tell you what, Erica was on this live earlier. She was on this live earlier, and we talked about how we worked for multiple companies together and different things like that. And I tell you what, one of the last companies that we worked for together, the best company, I think it was the best company that we worked for personally. When they were going through hard times, and I can't even say hard times, but just market changes. The market had become very volatile for the industry that we were in. We never heard of our CEO at the time, that he had taken this big bonus and that he had made all of this and everything. But I tell you what they did do. They still made sure that everybody got their percentage of what they were supposed to get, profit sharing. They still contributed to 401ks. It's about, it's okay if you're a CEO and you are making more or whatever the case is. Hey, you the big boss that's in charge. But you got to make sure that there's some equity for people, and for it to be people with disabilities, the elderly, or any worker that was working there. You're working for pennies on the dollar, but the CEO is taking home $1 million, and you have a whole auction block for old clothes, shoes, and whatever the hell else. Ridiculous. And I think that people should be enraged by that. Get the word out, y'all. Don't go and donate your stuff there, because they're making money. You trying to give and you trying to help and give to the next person, and they're taking from you. Yes, he said boycott. Shout out to you. I appreciate you for sending that story to me, because I had no idea. Lynn said, I give to my residents all the time. Anything. And Lynn, I tell you what, let me put your comment back up. For anyone that's tuning in, if you have any items or anything that can be given, Lynn is Chicagoland based. And Lynn, we would love to help. If you need blankets, send me a message and tell me what your residents need. Okay? Tell me what they need so that we can help. We want to help. And we want to make sure that the help gets to the people that actually need it. Not rich CEOs that don't need it no way. Like, if you can't manage $1 million from when you made it and your business was doing well, you probably don't need another $1 million. Lynn said, I'm sharing this info with my entire tribe. Share it up. For anyone that gives to Goodwill, they don't have goodwill in their heart as far as how they're treating the very communities that they serve. So don't allow them to come in and they're double dipping at this point. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. She said, I will, cuz. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Yeah. When I saw that, I told Anthony, I said, you know what? I want to do a little bit more digging on it. But that particular story, we're going to still dig a little bit. But if anything, we're going to dig for resources and for places that are actually helping the people and not taking from them. I don't know about y'all, but everybody is a couple paychecks from being, in a crazy spot. No one is above reproach here. So we gotta stop it. I'm moving along. There's a story coming out of San Francisco, the San Francisco Bay Area. Why are people out here eating wild mushrooms and then passing away from it? Can we talk about it? This person, unnamed, they ate what is called a death cap mushroom from out of the Contra Costa County. That's a mouthful. But, California, they have issued several warnings, and they've been urging their people to not eat these wild mushrooms, because in the wild, during the different seasonal changes, it's very, very hard to know if you're eating a mushroom that's edible or if you're eating one that is completely toxic and poisonous to your body. What I thought was really interesting about this story is that they reported that since mid-November of 2025, there's been nearly 40 reported cases of people being poisoned by these mushrooms. And I'm like, baby, can't we just get the mushrooms from the store? Why do we need them from out in the wild? Death cap mushrooms? Ooh, that's a lot. What's up, Kiki? Kiki, hey, girlfriend. Thank you, sis. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love when Kiki joined. It's gonna get lit now. Kiki always be having some stuff to say to us. And Auntie Tracy said, keyword is death. Yeah, the rains that they have in the California area is leading to more and more of these mushrooms growing. The mushrooms is like, hey, we got to do it. So the recommendation is that if you're out in the California area, okay, and you are out in the wild and you just like, I'm about to eat this mushroom, you should be cautious to not eat a mushroom that does not have expert identification, meaning that they've identified that this mushroom is not poisonous, because it's very hard to tell. They look like regular ones, but without the proper testing, you don't know. So just in case if y'all are out here just randomly eating mushrooms, I don't think any of my people are doing that, but just in case if you are, or if you're in the California area, please don't be out foraging mushrooms right now. This is not the time. Some unfortunate news that I came across yesterday, and it really, it was sad to see. Did you all happen to catch the live from Ray J, where he said that his heavy alcohol and drug use has turned his heart black, is what he said directly, leaving it operating at 25% capacity. He went on that live to say that at one point in his life, he felt invincible. but that by 2027 it was going to be over with. And he actually was on camera like it's going to be over with 2027. Now, y'all know we grew up. We you know, I'm a part of the sexy can I one wish. Oh, wait a minute. Like, I'm a part of that particular era. Like, you know, it's been sad to see. And I tell you what, Anthony and I were recently watching the show that Ray J had produced, The Love Cabin on Zeus Network. And y'all know, look, my husband and I, I like Ratchet TV. I just forced him to watch it with me, and I think he's starting to like it too. But just seeing how he was acting on there, I'm like, he's really taking a different turn. You know, even with some of the things that he had going on that were out in the news that we reported on last year with, you know, his wife or ex-wife. I don't know if they're together or not. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but it's very hard to hear. And I think it's a solid reminder that, y'all, we are getting older. So we have to do a better job of taking care of ourselves and really looking after ourselves. So my thoughts and prayers go out to Ray J and the Norwood family. I hope that he can get it together. And I ain't gonna lie, Ray J, look, if you were to ever see this, love, for real, I've been using the teas from the Goddess collection, and she got one for the heart too. Sometimes when medicine lets you down, you have to turn to those natural remedies. So all is not lost. Like Erica said earlier in our interview, as long as you still have life, you still have breath in your body, you still have purpose, you still got things to do. But as long as you still have breath in your body in his situation, you can look at some different avenues to try to restore what you feel like may be lost. And what we have to always remember, you know, and it's tying all together with even the what would you do. God is always in control. So the doctors may be saying one thing to you, but it may be that he have many more years on here. I mean, I think that we've all seen some different cases like that where they might give somebody a timeline, but if it's not his timeline, it's not going to go anyway. I hope that this is the wake-up call that he needed to leave the drugs and the alcohol alone. Another story that ticked me off this Wednesday. The FBI, they searched the election office of the Georgia county that, you know, in Atlanta, that the president, he has kept his eyes on them since the election. He is still citing the Fulton County for his loss in 2020. We're in 2026, may I remind you all, but he has been zeroing in on them. And from the news that's been shared, the photos, the videos, I mean, they came and they extracted everything from this office. I mean, he is literally zeroing in on them. We got to let it go. It's bigger fish to fry. I think that the most disturbing news has been these, you know, ICE going around wreaking havoc in Minnesota. It's a lot going on right now. Investigating an office over something that happened in 2020 when it was already proven and it was already on record that they didn't do anything to impact that year's election is diabolical at this point. We have to move forward. So, yeah, they had a search warrant and went and did that. Speaking of those shootings and things that did happen, the Border Patrol agents who fatally, they just recently shot Alex Pretty. They placed them on leave. Now, I don't know if you all saw that video. It's very disturbing. Please don't watch it if you don't have to. Take my word for it. I'm in media, so I watch some of the things that people may not want to watch so that they don't have to watch. That video was disturbing. And putting them on leave rather than dismissing them entirely from the organization is crazy in itself. I just thought that you all should know. I'm just trying to figure out when we're going to get mad. I'm trying to figure it out. Now, this week, a framed photograph of President Donald Trump standing with Vladimir Putin is hanging on display currently in the White House. In a new renovated room, a new showroom, our current president, our current sitting president, has a photo of him and Vladimir Putin on display for everyone to see. Are we enraged yet? Let me sprinkle a little bit more on. Can we talk about this? Because this is what was happening this week. Is Nicki Minaj okay? Are we ready to have a conversation? She did a speech and said that she was the president's #1 fan and she wouldn't change a thing about it. And I found myself having a conversation with my girlfriend. Shout out to Portia. I had a conversation with her last night, and we were just talking about how crazy it was that this woman literally went from being an icon to where she is now. I'm like, you are throwing away your whole legacy for them, and they will throw you to the wolves. I hate to see it. I hate to see it. When she said that she was his #1 fan and that wouldn't change, I don't even think the room got as loud as she probably had anticipated when she said that. I don't know what's going on with our girl, but I feel like we got to pray for her because I'm just like, girl, are you in a Get Out movie? How do you go against your entire base? Make it make sense. What's up, Tom? What's going on? Ty Monroe is in the building. Hey, I can't wait. I'm going to be on her platform in a couple weeks. Super excited, sis. Shout out to her. Shout out to the Swag Her community. Okay, that's our people. Y'all make sure that y'all go and follow them too. Love them down. But that's all I have for tonight's What's Happening, What's Up. Now, when we come back, yes, this topic, y'all, we're going totally off the grid tonight. What popular conspiracy theories make you wonder? I'm going to share mine. Will you share yours? Get in tune, gather in the comments, put it down so it's ready to go. Be right back.
Are you in need of a mobile bartender for your next event? Contact Paris Ice Bar today. From crafted cocktails, tapas and hookah, Paris Ice Bar has you covered. Visit ibringhappyhour.com or call 407-707-8202.
Hey, are you struggling with weight loss? Try everything and the scale hasn't moved for you? Well, I think it's time for you to call our good friends over at Live Long Health. They have everything that you need to help with weight loss management, and they also offer a plethora of other services. So make sure that you go ahead and head to livelonghealth.net, okay? Or call 708-998-5542, okay? And guess what? The best thing is you can treat yourself now and pay later. They accept several different payment types, and baby, it's time for you to go ahead and make that move to get healthy. So choose to live long with Live Long Health. Now it's time for the Blueprint Live's topic of the day. Let's get into it.
Let's jump into these conspiracies. If you haven't already, make sure that you drop those businesses in the comments. I've been seeing a lot of people that's got businesses, but I haven't been seeing y'all tag it in the comments. Go ahead and do that. Anthony added, it's obvious she needs a favor. Yeah, like citizenship, pardons, things of that sort. He said that she gave a lot of money to an organization that he had, which, you know, the Trump buck, she posted a gold ticket. It's been buffoonery with that. That's a conspiracy theory in itself. Like, how did Nicki Minaj, how did we get here, baby? Bees in the Trap is one of my favorite songs, and it came up on my playlist today. I'm like, turn this off. Turn it off. Turn it off right now. So look, let's break into these conspiracy theories. So look, Kim and I were talking this week. Kim, if you're on this live, we're about to get into some of the ones that she discussed that I was also seeing them too. Can I tell y'all this? One of the ones that I saw, and I've heard it for years, you hear it all the time, but I've just been seeing a little bit more where it's made me go, I don't believe it, but it's made me wonder. It feels like You know, my biggest conspiracy theories are related to a lot of the things dealing with like the ocean and like the sky. There was one guy that he I see him all the time on Facebook. I would have to get his username, but he talks about how the sea and you know and water and everything like it's actually like above us in the sky and just you know all of these different things. That's one that's been intriguing for me. Kim, I recently just saw the video of or the footage that you know they only showed a snippet of like I guess the giant hopping around. It's like a big giant, whatever. And then I think the latest one that's really been on my radar, it comes to me. I don't go looking for it. I promise you I don't. But have you all heard of okay, hopefully I say it right, the Leviathan? That you know apparently they're playing with the weather to try to keep this big extra large humongous fish in the water because it's trying to float out, it's trying to come out and do all of these things. Those have been the ones where I'm just like this, hey, this might be to this. You know, I used to feel like I'm like they're doing something with the weather, they're playing with us. Those things have been confirmed. One of the things I never understand traffic, and as someone that commutes from the South Suburban Chicagoland area into Chicago throughout multiple times throughout the week, you know, I used to hear the conspiracy theories of the government has people out here that create traffic to slow traffic and do all of this. And I was like, no way. No way. You know, you kind of scoff off at those things. No way. Absolutely not. And so people, now that we're in this social media realm, they've been providing a little bit more footage or things to really support a lot of these different conspiracies. Enough where it's just like this. You know, I'm like, I like to think I'm an intelligent person. Where I'm looking and I'm like, oh, something's not right here. Something's not right. Those have been the ones that have made me wonder. I've seen the videos where it's just like it's these like cars and they're literally in front of everybody and they're just going super slow. And apparently they're plants. I'll tell you this. The movie, do you all remember what was it called? It was on Netflix with Jamie Foxx. The something Tyrone. Y'all know which one I'm talking about. That movie about in that movie, the plot of it was that they were cloning people and like creating these communities and cloning these experiences throughout the city. And then shortly after that movie came out, you know, there was actual evidence that suggested that some of the ideas they cloned Tyrone. Thank you, Ty. Thank you. I knew it had Tyrone in it, but it was after that I'm like, oh, okay. And then there started to be stories and different things that came out. And as quickly as those stories came out, they were taken off of the internet. They weren't mentioned on the news like that. I genuinely, those things, I believe that it could be it's some truth to that. Even when on the movie, if you all saw it, and I don't want to give it away for anyone that hasn't seen it, but there was the scene that when they were at the chicken spot. And if you know, and if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Does that not give when they was acting up over them chicken sandwiches? Do y'all remember the Popeyes chicken sandwiches and how they was acting the damn food for it? Yeah. They might be creating some experiences for us, y'all. I don't know. But it's something to it. It's definitely something to it. So, you know, and again, these are just things that you don't have to necessarily believe it, but you can look at certain things and say, hey, this seems a little off. For me, I feel like that some of the biggest conspiracies rely around the things that have to deal with water, space, all of that. Some things just seem very weird to me. What's up, Cam? We talking about your favorite friend. We talking about your favorite. Kim had this conversation. She was talking with one of her friends. And I said, you know what? I was like, friend, you just gave me the topic for for Thursday. Y'all know, look, the conspiracy theory for me is that I used to say all the time, like, these phones is listening to us. And now that, all of these things have been confirmed. So when you think something, it's not as far-fetched as you think. She said, we definitely spoke about this. They are doing some things to us. They are. I'm like, y'all playing with the weather. And I tell you what, when I was talking with my girlfriend yesterday, and we were kind of touching on the conspiracy things, we were talking specifically about like giants and just different things. We know that these were things that used to exist back in the day. I mean, hell, we had dinosaurs and had all types of stuff. These are things that have been proven. I just don't believe that they are all gone, y'all. I don't believe it. I don't. I'm sorry. Where are these big figures burrowing somewhere? And Anthony, I tell you what, Anthony, I know you still listening to this. So when I tell you that we have to prepare for I don't know what's going on with this. When we have to prepare for Godzilla coming back, because my husband always gets on me. I'm like, what if Godzilla popped up? What will we do? What will be the plan of action? And he always laughs at me when I say it. But I'm like, if you think that all of these large creatures and everything, if you think that there's not just at least one or two, come on now. Let's get it together immediately. Now, Ty said, I believe Gucci is clone. Ma'am, he looks a little bit different before he went away. I'm with you when you're right. Kim said they're all underneath the ocean. That's why no nobody go down there for real. Gotta be. I do genuinely believe that there's some things that are definitely under there that it's a problem. It's a problem. So you absolutely it's something that's going on there with the water. And I mean, when you think about like Alaska, like why is it that every continent they will not go and mess with Alaska? They know something. There's been they have to. And I can't even, the sad part about it is we talking tonight. I can't even clip this up. They've been and cancel me before I get started. But it's got to be something to it. It's something in the water. And you're not going to be able to convince me otherwise at all. I think that's a good place to wrap up the conspiracy theories because, baby, we could talk about this for hours and hours. Now, let's see, Kim said Alaska holds the secrets, honey. You know they do. You know they do. You know they do, sis. Like it's a done deal. It's a done deal. Now, after this break, we're going to close out with our quote of the night and get ready to wrap this thing on up. Be right back.
Hey, are you struggling with weight loss? Try everything and the scale hasn't moved for you? Well, I think it's time for you to call our good friends over at Live Long Health. They have everything that you need to help with weight loss management, and they also offer a plethora of other services. So make sure that you go ahead and head to livelonghealth.net, okay? Or call 708-998-5542, okay? And guess what? The best thing is you can treat yourself now and pay later. They accept several different payment types. And baby, it's time for you to go ahead and make that move to get healthy. So choose to live long with Live Long Health.
Are you in need of a mobile bartender for your next event? Contact Paris Ice Bar today. From crafted cocktails, tapas and hookah, Paris Ice Bar has you covered. Visit ibringhappyhour.com or call 407-707-8202.
Thank you so much for all of my listeners for tuning in. And now it's time for the quote of the night.
Welcome back to the Blueprint Live. It's your girl, MzMetchi. And we've come to the sad time of the evening. Oh, Anthony added his conspiracy theories. The North Pole. I want to know your thoughts. Okay, we'll put that on our talk for in the morning. I'd like to know more about what you think about that, babe. Of course. Tonight, I just, man, we had an awesome time. I love when my guests come back to see me, especially when it's my girls, honey. I love my girls. But tonight's quote of the night, I want to close it out. And this one resonated deeply with me because, y'all know MzMetchi be dealing with some different things. Y'all be dealing with a lot of stuff, especially with this industry stuff. People get on my nerves sometimes. But I want to share this with you all because it spoke to me, and I hope that it'll speak to whoever it's supposed to. Real short and sweet, so get in tune. You're about to transition from being skipped over to being sought after. Relax. You won't have to compete for what God says is yours. I know that there is somebody out here. It could be your job. It could be your, your own business. It could be different opportunities where it would seem to be in perfect alignment for you, but you are in a state where you just it's consistently you just feel like the things and opportunities and people or situations are passing you by. But when it's meant for you, it will be for you. And I need y'all to know I have, whether if it's at work, if it's been in business or whatever, I've definitely, been skipped right past. Skip right past you. Look right past you. You could have friends and family that they'll know what you're doing or whatever the case is, and they'll go and support and pay somebody else and do all of that. I know somebody understands what I'm talking about. You do balloons, but they like, oh no, girl, you ain't gonna do it for me for free. And then as soon as you don't offer your services, they'll go and pay somebody else to do it, but won't pay you. Okay, I'm talking about those type of things. I've had some situations even as of recently where I was just like, dang, it's like that. I can laugh about it now because I know that whatever God has for me, it is for me. If he say that it's mine, it's mine. It doesn't matter what anyone else says. Y'all like my cup? Ooh, cutie. But I hope that you take that. You can relax because you do not have to compete for what God says is yours. When it's destined for you, no one, no situation, no circumstance can go against that. So I hope that resonates with you all, and take it, keep it close to the heart. I know I did this week. I know I did. I want to thank everyone for tuning in with me. And of course, my very, very special guest, Erica Curry of She Is Undefeated, Inc. She put the call to action out there, you all. So if you can think of resources, if for any of my friends that have businesses that want to give to her Giving Sunday, initiative, if you are able to go and offer time to be with her girls that she mentors, she's taking them from the 3rd up to the 12th grade and helping these young ladies out and giving them a safe space. If you can be a part of the village to help uplift, shoot her a message. Join. Erica is very, very collaborative. She's always in the mix and willing to do the work to make sure that everybody, anyone, whether you're underprivileged, whatever, to make sure that that there's some equity here. So shout out to her. Congratulations to her on everything that she's doing. And I love y'all. I'll be back next week. I don't have a special guest for y'all next week. It's just going to be me. But I think that we're going to have a good time as always. I love y'all. And until next time, bye.
Thank you for tuning into the Blueprint Live. I'm your girl, MzMetchi. Make sure that you're following me on all platforms at MzMetchi and at the BP Media Co. See y'all next week. Okay, bye.